What's up, guys? Bob.bob.the.gamer here, coming at you with some more top deck lists. Today we have the YCS Edison Bologna top deck list. Check it out. Alright guys, getting right into it. We got the top 7 deck lists. I know that there's top 8, but nobody could really seem to find the top 8 deck list. First up, we have Blackwings, first place. Federico Curzi. My pronunciations are going to be totally off, so I apologize. But anyway, guys, here's the deck list as we're looking at here. So very, very interesting things that I want to note about. No Allure of Darkness in any of his deck at all. No Dust Shoot, no Trap Dust Shoot. Personally, I don't love the card. Yeah, it's broken as hell first turn, but I always seem to draw it, in the mid to late game when people got 2 cards in hand and we're almost top decking. That's when I draw Dust Shoot, so I don't particularly love the card. And maybe the biggest surprise for me is no Royal Oppression. No oppression at all in this list whatsoever, which is super, super crazy. He is on this one card, the Selection. Very, very interesting card. It's a counter trap, pay 1,000 life points, negate the summon of a monster that is the same type of monster on the field and destroy it. So basically, he said it's just for the mirror match. Interesting choices that he has is Triple Compulse in the main deck. I guess he's just trying to conserve his monsters. One issue that happens with Blackwings, very susceptible to bottomless and other summon stops. Things like D-Prison can also really hurt them too if they don't have the Icarus or Deck Deputy Chain. Having the Compulses, it allows you to keep the monsters that you have. And if your Whirlwind is able to survive a couple turns, you can also get more benefits out of that. He's also maining Mind Control, which isn't typical for Blackwings. I think that's a good call, personally. And he's also maining a Starlight Road. I believe that Blackwings is very, very meta-dominant out there. Even more so here in the States, than in the States, rather. And another interesting thing is that he did elect to play the Mistworm, and he did side Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Yes, you can side extra deck cards. So he did side that and put that in specifically versus machines or whenever he put Cyber Dragons in. Overall, pretty standard deck list other than that. It's a Blackwing list. I do like it. The Selection, I don't know how I feel about that, but it worked out for him, and especially if there's a lot of Blackwings over there, hey, works out, stops the Sirocco pump, counter, shenanigans, so. Alright, on to the next. Number 2, we have Vayu Turbo by Lukas. I'm sorry, man. Lukas Z. I can't even try it. It'll be here. Alright, so Vayu Turbo. A couple notable things to point out is he's on 1 Elfin. He's on Double Grepher, Double Armageddon Knight, standard, but he's on no hamsters, and he did elect to play Charge and a Lila in the main deck. Also, he chose to main Mind Control, which is very, very strange. I guess he was expecting to run into a lot of hamster decks himself. So he's on, maining Mind Control, and he's on 2 deck heavies in the main, which is something that Eric Shen recently did. However, a card that he does not have in the main deck, which I have literally never seen anybody do in Vayu, is put Barrier from the Different Dimension to the sideboard. I'll be honest, that card is amazing. I've considered playing Gold Sarcophagus in this deck list just for the purpose of getting cards like Burial, Dad, or Return. I don't think I would sideboard that, but hey, he got second of the YCS and I didn't. So, the event was 256 players. So, other than that, it looks pretty standard. Obviously, Vayu's a good deck. It seems like Vayu's moving more towards the bombs. Pretty much everybody that I have seen recently has been maining a Chaos Sorcerer. So, congratulations. Moving on. 3rd place. This one's actually, I'm a little excited for this. This isn't personally like a deck that I play, but I think it's cool to kind of see gadgets get their thing, right? So, he's on 2 sets of gadgets, he's on the Triple Machina, and he's on Machina Peacekeeper. This is not a card that you really see in Machina lists. Very, very interesting choice here. What it does is you can read it, but when it's destroyed and sent to graveyard, you can add a Union monster. Basically, you're adding Gear Frame. It's pretty much what he does, but that adds your Stratos, so it's kind of like one of the best cards in your deck. A few other interesting things. He's only on 1 Avarice, he's on 2 Smashing Grounds in the main, Triple Solidarity. He's on Triple D-Prison, 1 Limited Removal. This card's just so strong, it just lets you win games out of nowhere. He's on 1 Royal Oppression main. However, he's also on the Scrap Recycler, which he said was one of the best cards in the deck, as well as Call of the Haunted, he said was another one of his really well-used cards. He really appreciated that. He did mention that Light Imprisoning never came in. I guess he never played Lightsworns. I know some lists played literally like 5 Lightsworns. I think it was a Blackwing player that did that. So, it wasn't a bad meta call. He just, sometimes you dodge the bracket. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's a cool list. It's kind of cool to see gadgets kind of get their thing. Like I said, it's not my play style, but I understand getting pluses every turn off of the, the gadgets or the gear frames, that obviously feels super good. Interestingly, he's got a Cyber Dragon in the main. I guess he just wants to be able to Chimera Tech other people. Maybe he was expecting that. He's got 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons in the extra deck. Pretty cool stuff. Moving on to the last of top 4, we have Gladiator Beast by Mozzoni G. His looks like a more standard version of what I would expect from Gladiator Beast. So he's on double Radiari, which is kind of unique. And usually he said that he wanted to try and get his Rescue Cat to move to Secutor. He said that was like one of his big plans was, Rescue Cat obviously grab Sam Knight and a Test Tiger, then you use the Test Tiger to go to Secutor and try to get your pluses off of that. He said that was a very big thing for him. Another thing was that he's on 2 Prisma. So obviously Prisma's going to send Bestiari, and if you have a Test Tiger, you can then use that to, get another guy like, I believe it's Darius that gets back the monster from grave. Yeah, and special summon it. So that can let you go into a Bestiari play right off of that. So that's obviously pretty good. So apparently he talked about a very interesting effect. I've not double-checked this, but this is how it was ruled at the YCS. So he said that if you Book of Moon Darius, whatever monster is special summoned gets the effect. Or if that monster is special summoned, you could book that and it gets its effect. So example, Bestiari, you could get Bestiari and use its effect. Like I said, I didn't know that, but it would explain why damn near all Glad lists are on 3 Book of Moons. Other than that, he's on Double Trapson in the main. That's very popular for Glads nowadays, and other decks that can pop back row, like X-Sabers or things like Quick Draw. Super good card. 1 Compulse in the main, Triple D Prison. Pretty standard stuff. He also mentioned that he said that 2 Starlight for him was very, very important because of the amount of back row that he plays. And, obviously if they do if they find a way to JD through your back row, Glads just basically loses because they can't really get over the 3K. But other than that, he said he was extremely happy with how the deck performed. I thought it was cool that he has the Blackwing Synchro monsters in here. I guess that could come up with Brain Control or something, which he doesn't play. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I thought it was kind of a cool thing, right, that he had those in there. All right, moving on to top 8 here, okay? So that was top 4, moving on to top 8. We have another Vayu Turbo player, Francesco B. So Francesco B, a couple weeks ago, recently lost his best friend, and he wanted to dedicate his tournament performance to him. So I just wanted to shout that out. I think that's a really cool move. Very, very respectful to his friend. May he rest in peace. And if you guys are into prayers, maybe consider saying a prayer for his friend. That being said, he was on Vayu Turbo, which was super blinged out, by the way. The video, as well as the deck lists, are linked in the video description. So, he's on 1 Deck Devi, 1 Icarus Attack, Devil Hamster, no charge because he only has the 3 Raikos and he doesn't want to give up the information. He said he was quite happy with Solemn and he thinks that it pretty much should be in the main or the sideboard of any kind of Vayu Turbo list. He does regret not playing the 3rd Dust Tornado, but he said short of that, he's pretty happy with the list. Extra deck looks standard, and he's got the 2 Oppressions in the side and the other Deck Devi in the side. So, congrats to him, and once again, rest in peace, buddy. Alright, moving on. We have the second Blackwing player. So, this other Blackwing player, Karl J., he was the only undefeated, to my knowledge, in Swiss. So, he played against 4 Lightsworn players, hence why he made the meta call for the draw traps, which are very popular in the States as well for Blackwings. So, Celestias, Judgment Dragons, Lilas, you just get a lot of pluses out of that matchup. He does wish that he was on Light Imprisoning Mirror, but, it is what it is. He said maybe he would drop out a Mask or one of the Soul releases. But, yeah, he would try and put 2 Light Mirrors in there. He does play 2 Raikos. I imagine that's for Consecrated Light. A True Hero is a big fan of the Double Raiko and Blackwings as well. I don't think it's a bad call. Nobody really expects it. Although your mills are kind of butthole. I mean, you do have 3 Sirocco and 2 Vayu. And then, you could hit a level 4 for Blizzard. So it's not the worst thing. But if I try to mill in Blackwings, I'm going to be like Devil Whirlwind, Icarus Attack. It's just going to be trash for me. Oh, he's also Callie on Dueling Books. So, those of you that are aware, this is the guy. Did a great job. Congrats to him. And then the last deck list I have for you guys is going to be the other Gladiator Beast list in top 8. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, like, what the hell, man? This guy has some balls, okay? So he's on some wild stuff. Triple Mask of Restrict in the main. Obviously, he was preparing for primarily a frog meta. It also does stop other things. Like, it stops, like, Gothams tributing itself. It stops Icarus attack. So, you know, I mean, it does have some other uses, but I don't think it's necessarily the play. But then again, he made top 8 with Glads, and I didn't. I mean, the guy's on 10 monsters, 13 if you count the Proving Grounds, right? Nobody's really running Thunder Kings in Edison very often. So, and he's on triple books plus econ to simulate the 4th book. He said that Proving Ground is mostly for Bestiari since it's kind of like the best card in his deck. Ironically enough, he's on no Rescue Cat. He's on no Prisma. He's not playing the Secondarius. He's not playing any Secutors or any Test Tigers. Just kind of like pure Glads. So he's also doing something that I find very, very rare for Gladiator Beasts. Most of them will play 2 in the main. 2 Chariots in the main inside the 3rd. He's on all 3 in the main. Ironically enough, he's also not on Dimensional Prison at all or Bottomless Trap Hole at all. I'm not sure that affected his Blackwing matchup, but guessing on how heavy the meta is for Blackwing over there, I'm guessing it just didn't matter. But yeah, you're pretty much not ever going to get through his back row with, you know, he's got Devil Starlight and he's got Dark Bribe. I mean, that's just a lot of cards to be able to stop that. Sides into the triple dimensional fissure package. Pretty good. He's also on another Dark Bribe and a 7 Tools of the Bandit. So, you know, that works out for him. Being able to stop the Starlight Roads and things like that off of your guys' RS plays is obviously a big deal. But yeah, that's going to be the top 7 deck list, guys, for YCS Bologna Italy. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Again, as always, the deck lists are going to be linked in the description for Dueling Book links. I've also got videos linked as well. Check out one of these other top deck lists over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.